Hello and welcome to episode 149 of The Pilgrimage on FM23. I'm Jamie, and coming up on today's episode is the pre-season and transfer special edition. But before all of that, we've got a potential change of job coming up, as we have a job interview. So let's get straight into it and find out who that's with in just a moment. Okay, well here we go with the job interview, and as you can see it is with Newcastle United, so let's get into it and let's meet Yasir Al-Rumayyan, the Newcastle chairperson. Hello Jamie, we've invited you along today so we can put forward our vision for the club and allow you to suggest any alterations for us to consider should we decide to hire you. So we will thank them for the opportunity and get down to business. Can you tell me why managing at a number of clubs as you have done is a good thing? Let's tell them we're ready to settle down and build something. I have considerable reservations about the fact you've shown a tendency to spend only a short amount of time at a club. Why has that been the case so far in your career? I've never been nervous to move around if I felt it would benefit my career. The fact I'm attending the interview vindicates my approach. Are you able to say why you have moved between clubs quite so often? I'm ready to settle down in one place. My days of hot-footing it to the latest club to express an interest are over. Why have you felt it acceptable to apply for a number of jobs whilst employed by another team throughout your career? I feel it's acceptable considering how long I've been in management. We receive a large amount of media attention. Your media handling has been dubious to say the least. Why is that the case? Okay. I need opportunities to work at a club like this if I'm to learn what it really takes to handle the media. You've previously been embroiled in media controversies, citing your inability to cultivate a strong dressing room atmosphere. What can you say to address our concerns about that happening here? Very much the exception rather than the rule. Are you able to ease our worries about losing the backing of your players and the subsequent airing of any dirty laundry in public? I've learned from it, and the atmosphere here will remain healthy if I get the job. Am I happy to work with Dan Ashworth? Yeah, more than happy to work with him. So we won't be changing him. What sort of budget do I want for my backroom team? A small one. The long-term vision. Sign players under 23, good. Play attacking football, excellent. I try to do that anyway. Possession football, same. High reputation players, haven't had that one before, so quite excited about that. Work within the wage budget, well that's a current requirement. Sign players to sell for a profit, fine. Maintain the best youth system in the country. Maintain the best youth system in the world, looks exciting then. Increase commercial revenue, fine. Spend the original transfer budget, exciting. 1 year contracts for players over the age of 33, I'd prefer that to be none. Minimum 4 year contracts for first team players, okay. Maximum 2 year contracts for players over 31, that's fine. And 3 years for players over the age of 29, again, fine. They want me to work towards challenging for the title and then challenge for it and then work towards winning it and then win it. That's brilliant. So we're happy to do that. If hired, we'd expect you to position the team to challenge for the Europa League qualification. Is that fair, or do you think you could do even better? I think we can challenge for Champions League qualification, so we'll say that. Transfer budget of £90.5 million. Yeah, that's realistic. Wage budget around 90 million suit me. Yeah, fine. Do you have anything to request for us to consider? Not at the moment. Okay, so that is the end of the interview. I'll be back in a moment to show you my initial plans for the season ahead with Juventus. And after that, when we hear back from Newcastle, we will find out whether we're on the move or not. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, here is the Juventus squad as it stands now on the 1st of July with the out of contract players gone. So let's start taking a look at where we might need to improve things. Clearly, we've only got one goalkeeper in the squad, so we do need a second goalkeeper, either a backup or somebody to replace Gianni Ado as first choice. We are okay at right back, and we need to loan Stojanovic out, as we've got 3. We only need 2 right backs, and there's a clear first choice in Quacquarelli. In the centre back department, we've got 4 centre backs, and they're all reasonably good, to be honest. So I think centre back we're fine. Likewise at left back, Denia is clearly first choice. Mancuso will be good enough by the time Denia is ready to move on. Mancuso should be good enough to take his place. In defensive midfield, we definitely need an upgrade on Rotondo, but as a first choice, Lazio will certainly do for this season if we're still here. And as I say, we'll be looking to upgrade Rotondo, and he's not ever going to be good enough, so he'll be moved on permanently. Onto the right hand side, and Joffrey wants to leave, so we're going to get rid of him. And Ian Smith has been offered a new contract but hasn't got back to us yet. Into central midfield, Tenino is definitely good enough. Pamela is very poor at the moment, but has the potential to be a decent player. So we'll be looking to add at least another 2 central midfielders to this squad. We'll be looking to move Garnacho on. He's now 35 and is no longer of the required standard to play for this team, so he'll be moved on, and the other 2 will provide the left wing options. And then up front we've got Stamenkovic and Patrisco. Stamenkovic is clearly first choice. Patrisco will eventually be a decent option, and hopefully we might be able to add 1 player in as a striker if we need to. So I'll go and get some potential trialists lined up to come in those positions, and I'll show you those in just a moment. Okay, well, only 4 days after the interview at Newcastle, and Amanda Staveley's got back to me and asked for my backroom changes. So it does look like we might well be moving to Newcastle. So let's see what, if any, of our staff are interested in moving with us. So let's have a look. My assistant, David Ancelotti, am I interested in taking him with me? No, I think we can probably do better than that. Am I interested in taking my director of football? No, because we've got to work with the existing one. My head of youth development. Let's have a look at him. And yeah, he is the perfect head of youth development. So I'll take him with me. And we'll let David Giles go. So what does that leave me with? I can't do it. The compensation budget's too high. 276. So David Giles is going to have to stay there. And that's a problem. So I can't take Morganti with me. Move on to coaches. Let's have a look at Orsini. Decent goalkeeping coach, to be fair. Is he better than Adam Bartlett, though? Yes, he is. So Adam Bartlett's going to be removed. So we'll remove Adam Bartlett and bring Orsini with me. So he doesn't need any compensation. Right. Let's have a look what else we could potentially do. Enrico Maffei. Averagely good as a fitness coach. Francesco Lucia. Slightly better, but not fantastic. And Bianco has a couple of areas he does really well. So, 18 from Maffei on fitness. Newcastle's coaching staff. Musham is 14. So we'll get rid of Musham. Bring in Maffei. And what does Bianco do? He is predominantly to do with tactics and defending. So let's see whether Ben Dawson is actually pretty awful as a coach. So I'll get rid of Ben Dawson and we'll bring in Pablo Bianco. And I think that will do. I don't think I want to bring anybody else with me. So I think we'll leave it there. So we'll confirm those. And I'll be back in a moment to tell you whether we've got the job. Okay, well, just one day after the staff changes were requested, I have formally been offered a 3-year contract to manage Newcastle United. So let's go and start the negotiations and make sure I don't mess this up. So contract start date immediate, 3-year deal on £110,000 a week. So that is a massive upgrade on my current contract of £85,000 a week. So let's not ask them for anything really. Bonuses, winning the Champions League, yeah, we'll have some of that. And the objectives, just confirm all of those. Sign players under the age of 23, play attacking football, possession football, and sign high reputation players. Excellent. Work within wage budget. Want to do that anyway. Sign players to sell for a profit. Fine. Maintain the best youth system in the country. Maintain the best youth system in the world. Increase commercial revenue. Spend the original transfer budget. Looking forward to doing that. Maximum 1 year contract for players over 33. I won't be offering anybody over 33 a contract. 4 year contracts for first team players. That's great because it means we'll keep our squad together. 2 year contracts for players over the age of 31. Again, I'm unlikely to offer more than a year to anyone at 31 and above. 3 year contracts for players over the age of 29, that's fine as well. They want me to reach the latter stages of the Champions League. They want me to qualify for the Europa League in the Premier League. They want me to challenge for the FA Cup and be competitive in the EFL Cup. So all of that I think is absolutely fine. So we will just finalise the deal, and I'll be back in a moment to show you the formal confirmation and the media announcement that we have arrived as manager of Newcastle. Okay, well, Sport Bible have officially broken the news. In a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Jamie Sheehan has left Juventus to join Newcastle. Sheehan arrives with a record of 427 wins, 190 draws and 233 defeats in his career. He's won 4 league titles and 2 cups. Sheehan will face pressure to bring immediate success to St James's Park, having stepped up from his previous standing to take sole charge, and will need to hit the ground running if he's to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. Nuri Sahin was considered to be the favourite for the job, particularly after he was spotted attending an interview with the club, but they ultimately preferred a different candidate. Juventus will now be looking for a new manager. Meanwhile, Adam Bartlett, Craig Musham and Ben Dawson have exited the club as part of Sheehan's changes. Sheehan, 59, has accumulated 17 years of experience with the likes of Juventus and Lazio. This is Sheehan's first role back in England since leaving Stoke in March 2037. Sheehan's earned himself a reputation for signing players under the age of 23 and appears to be a great fit for the club's current vision at St James's Park. Sheehan prefers to use a 4-3-3 DM wide formation. I certainly do. This job will see him come up against a pair of his former clubs in Stoke City and Leicester City in the season ahead. So that confirms us officially as arriving at Newcastle, and I'll be back in a moment to introduce you to the squad that we've inherited. Okay, well, here is the squad on the day that we arrive, and as you can see, it is quite large, so there is going to be a lot of work needed, and let's just briefly go through it. We'll talk about it more on the next episode once I've managed to reshape it and make some alterations to it. So briefly, the keepers that we want to use this season will be Falcao, clearly first choice keeper. I am going to put Raphael as my backup goalkeeper. I'm going to loan Carlson out and get rid of Conrad Preen. In terms of the right backs, we're well stocked. We've got 5 of them. At least 2 of them will be let go in terms of Ike Schnellbacher and Simon Butler, which reminds me I need to filter for players not at club, which will just trim it a little. So moving on to centre-backs, clearly an area we need to look at. Perhaps some of the players in the fullback roles can be deployed as centre-backs. Again, we'll discuss that more on the next episode. In terms of left-back, we've got two pretty good options in Manuel and Martos, with Kevin Benyon, a potential third choice left back. So we may well loan him out rather than sell him. Moving on to defensive midfield, Sergio Alcaraz is definitely going to be the first choice in that department. Craig Clark, I'll probably look to move on loan and probably loan somebody in to fill that gap. On the or in central midfield, let's do that first. Again, we're quite well stocked, and realistically, we're going to sell Paul Ewing. We'll probably sell Graham White, and probably look to bring in maybe one central midfielder. And then we move on to the right hand side, and we've got Francesco and Bidner, who are wingers. And then further forward, we've also got Gary Sargentson, but he is pretty poor, to be honest, so we'll more than likely look to move him on. Moving on to the left hand side, and we've got, first of all, Wagstaff, who's very, very good indeed. And we've also got Veloso, but at the age of 34, his days are surely numbered. Christopher Quinn, 31. I might keep him around for a while. We do also have Lucas Barre, who is 26 and a really, really talented player. And Ali Widdop, who is 20, so we'll likely loan him out and look to bring him back in the future. And then finally, we move on to the strikers, and Michal Shevchik is 31, but very decent. Samba Diop, I think, will be moving on. Dejan Lapcevic is 25 and is the best striker at the club, so he'll be our starting striker. We will probably loan Matt Roberts out, although we would be open to potentially selling him. And Marcus Smith is one we'll definitely loan out, as he's got significant future potential. So that concludes the squad roundup, and I'll be back in a moment to conclude the episode and tell you what's coming up on the next one. Okay, time now then to wrap up the episode and tell you what is coming up on the next one. So I will bring you back at the start of the season. I'll show you the first game of the season at home to Bristol City. I will then play Wolves off camera, and the reason for that is I'm going to bring you back and show you the away game at Manchester City and see how we compare to one of the strongest teams in the league. So that will be coming up on the next episode. I will obviously also round up the pre-season results and show you the transfers that we've done. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Monday to Friday Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.